cooking today in the Love Lab. We are stepping up a classic. We're making brown butter honey cornbread. You don't want to miss it. Come on in the kitchen with me, guys. Let's cook. Okay guys, so brown butter cornbread. You're thinking, what does that really mean? Well, basically we're going to make some basic cornbread, but we're going to add a little bit of brown butter into our mixture, our batter. And then at the end we're going to take the rest of the brown butter, mix it up with some honey, and spread it on top. This is a good one. Here's our basic ingredients. We're going to start with making pretty much basic cornbread. We've got cornmeal, flour, some sugar, because I'm sweet like that, a little bit of baking powder, an egg, buttermilk, and some salt, okay? That's really all you need. Now for the brown butter piece, we have a stick of unsalted butter that I've already got cooking down here in my pot. Now you're thinking, that's a really big pot for one stick of butter. Well, I want it to have space to spread out so that my brown butter can really do what it wants to do, okay? So I've already started heating this. You want to heat it very slow. We're going to talk about brown butter along the way, but you want to heat it very slow. So while it's starting there, I'm going to start mixing up the ingredients for our cornbread. All right, let's do it. First, we're going to start with our dry ingredients, the basics: cornmeal and flour. Now I'm using self-rising flour today. You can use all-purpose flour, but I like my cornbread to puff up a little bit. It just reminds me of my grandmama, and so that's what I do. And then I've got a little bit of baking powder. This will give it some more rise. You know, sometimes the kids think it's cake when it rises up. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Look at that. We're going to whisk that together. I'm going to add a little sugar in here as well. This is not a ton of sugar, just a little bit. Give it a little kiss of sweetness. And we also don't have to add a ton of sugar because we're going to put brown butter and honey on top. Okay? See that? And then you're going to always make sure you add some salt. I'm going to put a teaspoon of salt in here. And of course I'm using kosher salt. Tell you guys all the time, try not to cook with table salt if you can, because it just doesn't taste the same. You get that iodine flavor in there. Just cook with kosher salt or sea salt. Trust me. All right, we're going to whisk this together, make sure everything is mixed. Our dry ingredients. All right, we're going to move over to our wet ingredients. See how our butter here is melting? We're just letting it do what it does, okay? Here I've got 1.5 cups of buttermilk. Today, you guys, I actually bought buttermilk from the store, but I've showed you before how to make buttermilk, right? You're going to take about 1 to 2 tablespoons of vinegar or lemon juice to every cup of milk and let it sit, and it will become buttermilk, promise you. But today, I bought some buttermilk, all right? And 1 egg for it to bind. I'm going to just slightly break this up, put it in here. This is a good way to make sure it gets completely mixed. There we go, all right? And I'm going to add that in to my dry ingredients. All right, now let's look over here at this butter for a second. I don't know if you can see what's happening. You don't want to cook it fast with brown butter. You're going to melt it and just slowly let it, the flavor come out, the nuttiness and the flavor of the butter come out. Now, I'm using a dark pan. Okay, a lot of times, if you can, use a light colored pan. I don't have one that I wanted to use with this. This is my regular pans I cook with. But what you want to do is just make sure you go slow and have something handy so you can be seeing and checking the color, okay? So you see it's still yellow right now. There's nothing brown about this butter. It hasn't happened, okay? It's still doing it. But you don't want to go too fast, okay? Meaning turn it up real high, but you're not trying to do that. You're trying to slowly cook it down, monitor your heat, and give it time, and swirl. And you see how those milk solids, the fat solids and things are starting to show at the top? The butter is starting to separate. Those are going to continue to separate. They're going to go to the bottom a little bit, and then you're going to have beautiful browned butter. And the flavor, the richness of brown butter, y'all, it will take your cornbread and all of your baking, whatever, to a whole nother level. Okay, so keep an eye on it, keep swirling, and I'm gonna stir the cornbread batter while that's happening. Here we go. Now we're going to cook our cornbread today in a cast iron pie pan. You can use a cast iron skillet or anything you want, really. I like cooking it in cast iron because it just feels authentically Southern to me. I know that makes no sense, but if you're watching, you know I frequently don't make sense. All right, let's keep an eye on this brown butter. See how I'm swirling it to see what color it is? It hasn't turned dark brown yet, so I'm going to let it continue to cook. This could take a while. It could take 10 minutes or so, or it could be kind of quick. You just got to be careful. Don't rush the process. If you accidentally overcook your brown butter and it's burnt butter, you just put it through a strainer and get the burnt pieces out, and you still can probably salvage it. All right, guys, you see how it's kind of hard to see because my pan is dark, but you see how on the bottom you can see where these milk solids have all gone down to the bottom? That's how you know your butter is ready. See how it's turned a nice, rich, golden brown? That's what you want. You don't want to overcook it, because if you overcook it, it's going to be burnt butter, and burnt butter is bitter butter, all right? So I'm going to use a little bowl. Move this over so you can see. Okay, and I'm going to pour it here just to keep out some of those little fats. See that? That's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, you smell, oh, I was going to say, do you smell the nuttiness? But you're not here, you can't smell the nuttiness. Sorry, guys. Imagine you're here smelling the nuttiness. Okay, now back to my, my cornbread here. I'm going to add a little bit of this brown butter in there. Oh, for flavor. Oh, I'm telling you, I wish you guys could smell it. And you see, you still have some of those pieces at the bottom. That's okay. That's okay. You want that. That's okay. That's the good flavor. Mix this in here. Fat is really good in this batter when you're making the cornbread, because that really helps it have a nice texture, and it brings out a richness in the flavor. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this. Here's my cast iron skillet. I was telling you guys, pie pan that I'm using today. I'll take just a little bit of this butter. Oil the sides of this, like so. We're going to bake this in the oven, on a 400-degree oven, until our cornbread is done. And when it comes out, well, while it's in the oven, we're going to make our brown butter honey. And then we will put brown butter honey all over the top of our cornbread as soon as it comes out of the oven. All right, there's that. Now let's go ahead and get our batter in here. And this is going to rise. Remember, we use self-rising flour, and we put a little bit of baking powder in there as well, so this should rise nicely. Okay, there we go. Okay, fine, top down. Oh, that's good cornbread. That's good. That's good. Look, if you don't taste your batters before you put them in the oven, that's on you. I'm gonna taste my batter. That stuff is good. All right, guys, let's get this in the oven so we can keep going. Okay, so guys, we put about 3 tablespoons of that brown butter in with our cornbread batter, and then we also put it around our baking dish, okay? And what we have left is this here. This is about 5 or 6, probably 5 tablespoons left, because we used a whole stick. What we're gonna do now is take our honey. There's about a 1/4 cup in here. You don't need a ton, okay? We're gonna mix it in with that. And look, just stir them together. And as soon as our cornbread comes out of the oven, oh, this looks delicious. It looks very tempting. Let me give it a little taste. Oh, that's amazing. Now, remember, we use unsalted butter. I don't know if I said that, but I usually cook with unsalted butter. To get the flavors of this to really pop, I'm gonna add about 1/2 teaspoon or so of salt. And again, salt is not going to make this salty, okay? It's just going to help the flavor come out. Different finger for tasting. Oh yeah, baby. That did it. Bingo. All right, all we gotta do now is wait for our cornbread to finish, and then we'll brush this on top of it and we will be ready to feast. Okay guys, look, our cornbread is out of the oven. Look how beautiful that looks. Now, if you want to make sure it's done, take a little toothpick. You can use a knife or a fork. Stick it in, and it comes back nice and clean. That's how you know it's ready. Okay, now, remember I told you it was going to rise? Look at how pretty that is. Now, this is fresh out of the oven. So what we're going to do is take this brown butter honey that we mixed up, give her another whirl just to make sure nothing has settled. Well, we don't want it to settle. Beautiful. Take our brush, and we're just going to brush this all over this cornbread. And this is going to soak in. Oh, do you guys see what's happening? That delicious, nutty flavor of the brown butter mixed with the gentle sweetness of the honey. This is about to be something, y'all. This right here. Oh my gosh. And you can use as much or as little as you want. Obviously, I use a lot because y'all know I like these types of things. And I'm like, look, you know it's better off. Anything you make at home is better than anything you can eat in a restaurant. Just because. So put you a little extra honey in there. Okay. Oh, look at that. Okay, guys. Now we're going to come to the moment of truth. I almost don't want to cut it because it's so pretty, but then I feel like if I didn't cut it, it would be disrespectful because it was hot. Because it gave, you know what I mean? It went through the heat, it went through the fire for me, and I feel like I owe it. I'm just going to get a little piece there. Oh my word. Maybe a little more properly. First piece is always the hardest. No laughing if it doesn't come out right. Woo! Can y'all see that smoking? Can y'all see it? You might not be able to see it. I see it. Let me get a nice little fork here. Nothing like some hot cornbread with honey in it. Look at that. Is that not a beautiful piece of cornbread? Oh my God. This right here is everything. Oh my God. All right, y'all. Amazing. I love this. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure to make this brown butter honey cornbread. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time right back here in the Love Lab for more Alabama cooking with your girl, Chef Lorious. Happy cooking.